I would love to take a couple of minutes and just say, hell yes, Slaysian Royale, one of the best seasons of Drag Race I have ever gotten to watch, bar none. Unfortunately, not my favorite Rusical, but this season had 4 finalists. This was like Earth, Air, Fire, Water. This was 4 people who painted such a complete picture of excellence that painted 4 different quadrants. I want to just take a moment and say I am so sad my beautiful Arizona Brandy did not get to dance in the finals. I think that she is, and I have some opinions that I think that maybe her level of humor and the way she presents her humor comes off very American Mall. And that is very, like, I really love the idea of the MoMA being inside the American Dream Mall. Like, I just think that there's this idea of creating neon high culture. Arizona Brandy was that for me. But all 4 of these finalists were brilliant. And I am so proud of Brig. She just earned it so well. Suki's bravery in who she is and choosing to show such a traditional performance was stunning. And honestly, Venus had one of the most beautiful transformations throughout the entire season. TK, I would love to know how you felt about this Final 4 and where you're at on this season. I'm just elated that we got to cover it together as a group.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm super stoked. And like the thing that I always say about Drag Race as a World of Wonder as a company, Drag Race as a brand with like a lot of sub brands is like more diverse products, please. And that's why I'm like, do a show that is just a pageant show. Do a show that is just pulling on comedy queens and who can be the best comedy queen. I really like a second chances rather than an all stars. Because I think all stars should be like, you made it really close and now come back on and see if you can finish. But I would love if all, first, second, third outs were coming back in to get another chance as well. There's just so many different products that I think you can make with this show. And I think saying like, we are just having Asian contestants from around the world. Like, this is not a traditional versus the world. This is not a traditional all-stars. This is something a little bit different, but I think it makes all the difference in the world because it is really about, please come on and celebrate a shared cultural identity, but then a diversity of cultural identities under that shared umbrella. And what an amazing thing that drag allows you to do that. And so it was fantastic. It was a fantastic idea for a show from the get-go. I love that it looks like we're getting Latino Royale because again, same thing, like just, a bunch of different nations and drag races that share a common touchstone, but then are vastly different. And so I think it's super cool. This was a fantastic top 4, a really great talent showcase. I love that almost everybody except my darling Venus really brought like a full talent. Like I really wanted to make every American girl watch it and be like, when they say talent show, you have to do this. You have to at least be able to do choreography. You have to do something that is a little bit more of a thing. Even Brigadink just pulled out a fucking flag and did a little bit of flag ballet. When I say talent show, I just want you to do something like that. Just get a couple flags and do a little flag ballet, or be Suki doll and change my life with this like performance art celebration of motherhood and Cambodian culture. Raja gave us something very similar to that when she was on All Stars. It's just so amazing when people get to share their culture and to make that part of a talent show. Then again, if your culture is like, I grew up in Arkansas, that's okay. I'll take your performance art piece about...
I was literally going to say thank you so much because like literally the way you taught me about Portland changed my life.
Yeah, like I would, if I was going to do Drag Race, like I'm not talent. Like I don't have a talent. I can't think of a thing. I'm not going to baton or anything like that. But I would absolutely do a.
You monologue better than like 99% of people.
Yeah, I mean, like, but yeah, sure, and like actually maybe that that could be one. But like I would do a Suki doll-esque celebration of the town where I have spent most of my time. Which is Portland, Maine. Like, what's our culture? I could get into it in something like that, but at least I'm presenting something for a talent show other than a song that I'm two-stepping to, that I'm lip-syncing to, that's a great song, I might really enjoy it, but I also want that in a separate challenge that's the song challenge. Talent show is a talent show, give me talent show, and I love that was the final four. I wish Venus had a little bit more besides breaking the bottles, though I did like that. Give me a show, girl. I love it. Her voice is amazing. Like, singing is a talent, and if she were singing live, I would have been really, really into it. Maybe she was. I'm not quite sure on that one. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I really did just love this. And the thing that you said to me as soon as I started watching it was Arizona's shirt. And I hear what you're talking about there. That kind of like it's
so me. It's so me. I can
yeah.
cry.
And again, it's a transcending. Like, you guys are very culturally distant. And yet, like, as certain aesthetics are global, and this show was able to give us that as well. Absolutely amazing. I didn't care who won. I would have been happy if absolutely anybody won. I thought it was a great top four. I was so happy to see all of them, and super happy for Brigading. I think all of them deserved it equally. So I was, yeah, just in general, what a great celebration, and what proof of truly how much drag can do. It is so much more than we think about when we're just in our bars having a great time, which is amazing and elevates our own lives. But like, look at how much else it can give us and how it can allow us to share culture and heritage and so many things.
I love that so much, and Kevo, thank you so much for pulling up Arizona Brandy's unbelievable logo shirt. It is so definitive of what makes drag culture unique, because that could say New York City, Newark, New Jersey, Greenwich, Connecticut, Boston, and Portland, and it would represent that Northeast drag aesthetic. Tori, you are an artist who has experienced art in, I think, every state of the country or close. You have lived on the road. You have been these girls from behind the scenes. And so to see something like Slaysian Royale bring together the diaspora of a geographic region, how did this finale sit with you? Your value proposition on this was taking multiple finalists from seasons where they weren't finalists and making them more. How did you feel?
I think this was one of the finales that I've been looking most forward to over the year. I think this was the one where I was like, I'm not really sure where it's gonna go. I'm like at least 80% sure where it's gonna go. But I really enjoyed the gals. I've sort of been asking us to not do a lip sync matchup to the crown kind of thing, and we sort of basically got that. We got a ball, we got a talent show, and then we ducked it down to two, had them prance around a little bit, and then picked one. And I really liked it. I think it was awkwardly paced at points.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit obvious to me about halfway through the walkthrough of the gals in the beginning that they had not returned for a finale, that those were shot as they were eliminated. It feels like, based on the fact that it was a complete and total voiceover and all the gals were looking pleasantly unhappy. So, but I think it was so lovely to have Marina Summers there. I think having Nymphia win there really elevates it on the global stage for the American crowd that's watching. I think these gals came to kill with their finale sets. It was a really excellent finale, and I'm sad that we didn't get any of the behind the scenes of the gals, unfortunately.
I completely agree. An Untucked, for all of these fabulous international seasons, would only seek to elevate the art of drag. However, I do want to take a moment to get kind of serious and kind of sad. For all of the beauty of these looks, like the chocobo feather Vivi look that Venus walked down in, which was like literally the coolest thing I've ever seen. She looked like a yellow feathered black mage. Jonah, you and I both could barely get our breath when Mama Pao my absolute favorite international host, took a moment to recognize Jiggly Caliente, who, I talked a lot about loving people who got a second chance in getting to love Utica so much on Project Runway this year, and how much I was so happy that VJ got to have a second season and the third season. You had a very positive relationship with Jiggly, especially when I started watching Drag Race. How did this finale feel to you? How were the girls, and how was the tribute to Jiggly for you?
Well, I love the tribute to Jiggly. So Drag Race Season 4 was the first season I had ever watched. And I just remember being so enamored and charmed by Miss Jiggly Caliente. And I just remember looking at her and just watching her perform and being like, damn, she knows how to work a stage. That's crazy. She's incredible. She's going to be dearly missed. You can tell how much she means to the show and how much she meant to the show, to the girls, to everyone. This was such a lovely tribute. I could not have asked for a better tribute outside of one where she was still with us. So, I had that. I thought this was, okay. My actual thoughts on this finale is I would have switched the talent show with the pageant. The pageant was the first challenge from season 1. I would have had them flipped, and I think that would have made narrative sense to flip them, especially because pageants are not that pageants aren't big in US, but for our Asian and Slaysian sisters, they are much more serious. It is a much bigger thing. It is a very well-known thing for them in their culture and how they express, drag and beauty and all that fun stuff. So I really would have loved to have that here. I really thought it should have been Arizona versus Brigading for the finale. Those were the two people who I was the most excited about, and whose talent shows really made me go like, that's a talent show. Gosh damn. So I was a little brokenhearted to see that Arizona didn't make it. She is absolutely incredible, and I hope she still doesn't feel that everything, that she's still an undeserved runner-up, or she's not as talented as Marina or Kiana. I really hope she feels super proud of this season. And I had been smitten with Brigading since episode 1. So to see someone who was a mid-out on her season kind of come back, crush it, and prove I'm a professional. She's a star. I'm so happy that she won. I could not have been happier. But all of them, if Suki or Venus won, I would have been happy, because this was a fantastic season, and this was a fantastic cap to end the entire amazing season.
Can I get an MA?
MA.
I want to say that Arizona Brandy took my heart the way Saphira Shea Coulee took my heart. I have a really interesting relationship with the way Arizona Brandy captured innocence, vulnerability, a childlike joy, and a love of just being there. I identify the most of any fictional character with Winnie the Pooh, and I don't know, Arizona Brandy has some real big Pooh Bear vibes, and so I am very positive on her. But KEVO, something that no Pooh Bear would ever recognize, you said something that took my breath away. Thank you so much, KEVO, for cutting to that image of Isis Couture. What a legend of Drag Race royalty. But KEVO, when we were watching this episode the first time, you noted that Nymphia is in purple, which is the color wheel opposite of yellow, and how that explores the way she's looking to reimagine who you think Nymphia Wind is, especially as she's judging people. And I would love to know how you felt about this finale, especially as somebody who sees those things when I and my very honey-loving self does not.
Something that's really been noodling my brain since Tori pointed to it and was talking about, we've talked about the pacing of this in many ways felt slightly odd, and I didn't even realize until she said something, but the fact that we didn't see any of the girls backstage, that made this finale feel especially strange to me. You know, you spend this entire season being part of this world with them, going into the workroom with them every single day. There's always that excitement of Elimination Day and everyone comes reeling in. And we didn't get any of that this episode. The only bits of them we got out of drag in any way or in any way decompressed was the interviews. And that was very weird. It created a sort of distance for me. It made it a little bit more special and polished, I guess, in a way, but it made it a little bit less intimate. And, you know, that's really hitting me as we're talking about this. You know, it didn't take away from the entertainment of it. I loved these girls and thought that they were great. It's always tough for me to say who should win. You know, this probably not a winning move, but you know, we were saying on our coverage of the season so far, which you can check out in our videos, you know, there was such a vulnerability of even Venus that we got to know over the course of this season, and so all four of these girls really were so amazing. I loved Suki getting Miss Congeniality, so well deserved, because that was another queen that we were talking about on that coverage, of saying that that is so much what she was this season, and to see that get recognized, it's a little weird in terms of, it reminds me of, it was Saphira who got Miss Congeniality.
Why would you bring up the worst moment of my life? The moment I knew she wasn't gonna win. But
exactly, like, that feels like the moment you know she's not going to win. So that does something to the process of seeing this. I also love the point of we should have LaFateur going for Demure tonight. I love the idea of swapping and putting the talent show first, because the fashion portion, all of it was gorgeous and cool, but it was so long and it slowed things down. We kind of needed an excitement and then something to pace ourselves and then excite us again when you drop two queens. But so yeah, it's not that it wasn't still an amazing experience. I loved getting to know these queens. And I'm so glad that we decided to do this coverage and explore this branch of the franchise. It's the thing that we love so much about this, is the web of girls that it creates, and getting to know so many more. You know, who knows where they will turn up next, and we can be excited that we got to know them here.
Kevo, you really, really hit exactly what I wanted to ask everyone as their sign-off questions. So, Tori, I don't want you to tell me who doesn't belong here, because every one of these fabulous girls belongs in this finale. But if you could have a fifth girl, no questions, who would you love to see in this finale, and where can they find you to say thanks?
Well, you can find me online at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I. The gals that I would like to see in this the most, you know, I would have loved to have seen Kiana get her remix moment, and I think it would have been really fun to have had her in here as well. That's fine.
Tori, I just think you're so smart. And also, if you want to say anything about any UK girls before you tell us where we can find you.
Oh, well, I told you where you can find me earlier, but you can find me cheering for. Ooh, I'm gonna go with Bonnie and Clyde still.
So good. Oh, you've got such great taste. Damn, girl. I can't wait to talk about this damn Yankees revival with you. Oh my God, it's all I can think about. Jonah, tell me, who would you have loved to have seen in this finale? What UK girl do you just want to shout out? And where can we find you?
You can find me places online at Peak Jonah. I would have loved I'm gonna echo. I would have loved to have seen Kiana. I think Kiana was kind of a superstar, especially such a heavy hitter that first episode. Won like 4 mini challenges in a row, so good for you, gal. That was incredible.
I just want to remind everyone that I've won many, many challenges. Lucy LaDuca.
Lucy LaDuca for Slaysian 2. And UK girl.
Judging.
Her name's not Scarlett Johansson.
UK girl shout out. Shout out to Young Bella. She was here in the chat with us. She was lovely. She was great. If she tours the US, if you come to the States, girl, come to Brazil, come to the States, we'll come see you. We'll get a drink. I'll buy you a shot, whatever. She's a good time gal. Go send her some love online.
I love that. Kevo, tell me, what UK girl do you want to shout out? What girl would you have loved to have seen in this finale? And where can everybody find you being fabulous? Also, yes, Andrew, that is Marina Summers. You have been gifted.
Well, you said what UK girl would I have wanted to see in this finale, and I guess Chai T Grande for if she doesn't go far enough in this season of UK 7, we'd love to see her in Slaysian Season 2, which Mama Pow hinted at the possibility of. She said, see you next season. We know that that's just probably hopeful, but I am hopeful. Who would I have wanted from actual Slaysian to have been in this finale? RuPaul actually showing up instead of having this pre-recorded Disney Parks video that you watch while you're in the queue. Congratulations!
Welcome to Guardians of the Galaxy.
I couldn't even get her to say each person's name with a congratulations in it. Like,
no, it was before the announcement even. That was great. But they reacted very well to it, and it was very sweet of them. But yeah, I'm gonna play wild card and say Yuha. Let's see what she would have done in the finale.
ooh.
Oh, that's hot. Speaking of so hot, TK, talk to me. I got 3 questions. Where can we find you? Which Kevo? Which Slaysian Royale girl would you like to see in this finale? And also, because I want to be a Chaos Goblin, which UK girl would you see in this finale?
You can find me at TK Accidental on the socials. I think if she had not been eliminated in traditional old school Drag Race style, Kitty Space would have continued on. I think she was doing really great, and she had one bad episode where she was then in the bottom and then lost in the lip sync. But I think if that had not happened, she would have continued on for quite some time, and I would have loved to have seen her in the finale because she was a look queen, and I think she would have given us a really shattering package at the end. I too want to shout out Nia and Bella, not to be on this show, but I just do want to say that, absolutely my favorite girl from this bunch, and will be sorely missed. Will not be the same watching experience without her. Who from UK would I put on here? I just genuinely don't know. The other person was who I would have said was the person that was on there, but is from Down Under, is Ivory Glaze, who I thought was just fantastic, and I hope that we see more of her again at some point. So I'm just gonna stick with that.
I love it. Well, for me,
yeah, I was gonna say you got to answer your own questions.
I know I got to answer my own questions. They're good questions. I wrote them, so I want to say that I think from Slaysian, I don't want to be a copycat, but yeah, I mean, I think you can't spell Slaysian Royale without a K. Kiana really captured my imagination. Unfortunately, I feel like the queen I want to signal the hardest is the queen that was eliminated, Young Bella. You know, it was such a pleasure to get to see you and see you dance so many times. It's a rare queen who's in so few episodes but gets to dance so many times, and that's how I'm putting it. Gets to dance. But if you guys want to see me dance, NICO Action, NICOACTION. If you guys want to hear the music I'm dancing to, NICO Action Music, NICOACTION You guys can also check out this show at X is for Show, X is for Comics, X is for Podcast, and more. Guys, 3 things. Number 1, please like, comment, and subscribe. That's the most important thing. Number 2, please keep being who you are. But I lied. The most important thing is number 3. be brave and evolve daily. Who you were yesterday, amazing. Who you are today, incredible. But who you are tomorrow, that's the person we can't wait to see on Drag Race Global All-Stars. So until then, keep being fabulous and Kiana all the way to global.
Bye.
Oh, shut up.